What's going on, everyone? I'm back. I didn't die. It's been a good week so far. I'm feeling a lot better, and so is the family. I didn't have the worst of it, so that was pretty crazy for Kayla and Oakley, but they are doing a lot better, and I'm happy I'm able to come on tonight and have some fun. Just got off watching the Kicker on Mash show. I'm sure a lot of you guys were. I just want to know how everyone's doing, and I just want to let you guys know that we're going to be doing a lot of live shows coming up. Found out I'm doing an extra one this week. If everything goes to plan, I'll see you guys tomorrow too. But how was everyone's holiday? The Christmas, the New Year's, man, for me it really didn't feel like a holiday, but I got to spend a lot more time with my family than I normally would have. So I'm appreciative for that. How's everyone doing? Let's see, I know we got Vega up in here. We got the 14.4 volt talk guys. We got Brian. We got Samuel. We got a lot of people in here. I'm just happy to be able to come on. I've been feeling a lot better, but I had a lot of drainage. You might see me coughing and sneezing a little bit. But otherwise, I feel a lot better. Man, that COVID stuff is nothing to mess with. All right, let's see. Thank you, Aaron, for tuning in, man. And I'm glad I'm here too, man. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. I figured I'd come on and just say what's going on, everybody, before I start, uploading videos, because I've had a video I've already had done for a while. And I got some other stuff I want to do too, but I figured I'd talk to you guys first, because I've been kind of letting everybody know, like, hey, I'm not going to be on for a while. We got hit by a tornado almost. Thank you, Samuel. Glad your family is feeling better. Me too, man. It was scary with Oakley, because he's not even 2 years old, man, and for a baby to get it, it's scary, man. It's really scary. No matter which your opinion is on it, I have my opinion, you have yours. And regardless, it's scary when it's someone that small. Let's see. Walter Keeley, thank you for tuning in, man. Hi, holiday was good, but didn't get any car audio. Oh, man, that's no good. No, I didn't get any either. Don't worry. I got an electric toothbrush, though, and an electric water pick. That was pretty cool. I got some pretty cool stuff that didn't know I needed, but I actually did. Y'all just up there passing the back and forth. Literally, we went to the Children's Hospital for Oakley, and then next thing you know, Kayla goes in to get tested because she's not feeling good, and she's got it. So I'm like, well, if he's got it, you got it, I probably got it. Yeah, I had it too, and then I tested Mr. B like 2 days later, and he was positive, but he did pretty good. He did pretty good throughout it all. Me and him had it easy. Them two, not so much. Deviant for life, D4L, what's going on, man? 14.4 volt talk presents 13.8 volt talk tomorrow night. We made you guys do overtime. Absolutely, man. You know what? It's funny because I really wanted to go live. I think it was right after Christmas. Because it was a few days after, you're supposed to be better after 5 or 10 days, not even, and go back to work. I was not feeling good. I'm like, I can't go live right now. I can't breathe. I'm choking. This is crazy. And I wanted to do some extra lives. And so now we're going to do them. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Appreciate it. No vaping, please. It'll kill you. Hey, listen, I'm trying, throughout it all. It wasn't hard for me. Kayla, she hasn't since, so maybe she'll quit. That'll be good. She can quit. I have a hard time quitting. I know that, but I used to be a very heavy smoker with cigarettes, Newports. They were the worst. So it's definitely better than that, but I do want to quit eventually. I just don't know what to do after you eat. Do you just sit there and just enjoy the taste of what you ate? I'm just so used to, smoking something after eating. Otherwise, it wouldn't be so much of an issue other than your physical dependencies. So thanks, Bobby B. I know you're saying it because you care, man. Appreciate it, buddy. Got a lot of comments tonight. Thank you guys for tuning in. I know I missed you guys too. Thank you, Joseph Keenan. Good. You and your family are doing good. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. It was something scary, man. It was definitely scary, and I was surprised it lasted so long. That's the weird thing about it all. Hi-Fi Vega, I'm working on an epic video. I got probably close to 20 hours in just one edit. Man, that is crazy. Those are usually the videos that you love and enjoy, but hopefully it does good on the YouTube's algorithm too, but that should be a dope video. Thank you for doing what you're doing, Vega. Let's see here. Brian Townsend, my son's pregnant wife has COVID. She is in the hospital. Man, I don't wish that stuff upon anybody, man. I'll be praying for you. That's scary. And it's weird, too, because they don't know what to do, especially with a baby inside you. Like, Kayla can't even just take certain stuff because of nursing. She couldn't take the heavier, you know, just like cough medicine and stuff for mucus and all that I could take. And she couldn't, and she was sicker than me because she's breastfeeding. So that's really hard, man. Tell her she's going to be strong through it. Mullen Performance, thank you for tuning in, man. We are doing good here in Indiana. It rained all weekend and flooded. Hey, man, that's crazy. It's raining. You know, I'm waiting for snow here up in PA. I mean, we're both pretty north. But, man, that's crazy. I know that's a thing in Indiana, too. That or tornadoes. Only at Slamology. That and a little bit of rain. Thank you for tuning in, man. Oh, wow, look at this. Hi-Fi Vega with the super chat. Have a shot of NyQuil on your boy. Thank you, Vega. Appreciate you, man. My number one. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, that's something I do need. Some NyQuil. That's one thing I have been doing, though, recently. Past 2 days, I've been sleeping. Usually I go to bed at like 4 a.m. and I'm up at like 11, 12 o'clock. I'm only sleeping like 8 hours. I've been sleeping and going to bed at like 1, 2 and waking up at like the same time. So I've been getting some sleep, which is rare because usually I wake up at the same time. But if I go to bed early like that, I'm waking up early. So my body is definitely recovering from everything. It's scary, man. Appreciate that, though, Vega. Thank you for tuning in, buddy. And, yeah, let me know what's going on with tomorrow. I'm down. I shouldn't be working. Probably not till next week, you know, and we'll go from there. So, figured, you know what? Might as well. I know you guys haven't had a 12-volt or, 12-volt talk episode in a while. So, if you want to do it, I'm down. Deviant for life. Andy had the sickest stream of 2021. It was so sick he and his family caught the Rona. You know, that's literally what happened, man. You got to watch what you're doing. You know, just like Scott says, sick, man. You'll get it. You'll get sick. You got to watch. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. All right, let me skim through some of these comments here. Yeah, if you guys got any questions about SPL, a buddy of mine made a post on Facebook saying that, you know, none of these podcasters on Spotify talk about SPL, and all they talk about is sound quality. I'm like, dude, do you watch YouTube at all? You know, there's a few of us that actually maybe not geared straight for SPL, but we talk about the things that you and I agree upon of how we like our systems to be sounded, you know, not just that sound quality RTA percentage, you know, so what's going on? So I figure with just that, and it was one of the topics I wanted to talk about on one of my lives. Let's start with that one. If you guys got any questions about how to get louder or what is SPL and what are the things that I can do that cost nothing that make me louder, let me know, dude, and I can point you in the right direction. Let me know your system. Anything you can think of, you ask. Let's see. Oh no, Aaron. I've gone through COVID as well. I thought you said you were going through it. You scared me there. So it'll be a while to recover, man. Keep strong. Thank you, man. You know, I was worried about the whole taste thing because you know how people say that. And I'm like, you know, things are tasting a little off. You know, my vape's not tasting right. This Gatorade doesn't taste right. This Baja Blast doesn't taste right. Turns out the Baja Blast was just a bad move on Taco Bell. Too much seltzer. You know how they cheap out on stuff. So I've been sticking to the root beer and Coke, and it's starting to taste right now, finally, and so is all the food. So that's a plus, because I know some people lose their taste and they say they never get it back, and that's something scary because I like to taste things. The way I would explain it, it's not like you lose your taste. Your front of your tongue is where you lose your taste for your sweet. So things taste more tart, more sour. You taste things back here more than in the front. That's at least my opinion, my personal experience with losing taste with the Rona. Tequila, lemon, honey. You know, you might as well just said a twisted tea and I would have believed you on that one. No. I tried some crazy concoctions. My sister, she had it and her family had it. So she came over with all these vitamins, zinc, vitamin D, A to Z, everything in between. And you know what? It helped a little bit. And there were some things that it was harder to drink than taking a shot of tequila. But it definitely helped with like the breathing and stuff like that. So I'm happy for her to be able to do that for me. I really appreciate that. And yeah, there's things like that you can do to help yourself feel a little bit better. But nothing really over the counter. Let's see. Matthew, Undercover, thank you for tuning in, man. I can relate. My young brother just had an accident on a motorcycle, but thankfully he gained a few pounds, which makes me motivated to eat his groceries. Thoughts of walking in on preschool dress. What is going on with that comment? That's crazy, man. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Yeah, hot tea. You know what? I was trying to drink coffee. Kayla didn't really drink too much coffee, but I was drinking the coffee, and that's when I noticed something was up. The coffee didn't taste right. And I'm like, yo, you got to make the coffee. I feel like I'm making it wrong. And, sorry, notification. And she made it, and it still didn't taste right. I knew something was going on. So, happy that came back, man. But yeah, anything warm, soup, stuff like that. It's like you got to go to the basics to make yourself feel a little better. The electrolytes, the fluids. But your appetite it's shot. I'll say that much. Slamology turned me into a hot dog with the heat last year. Yeah, I was... I missed that one, and it turned out it wasn't a rainology, so I missed out on that, but I was banking on going to the Kicker HQ for a tour and all that other stuff, and then that didn't happen, so I wound up not doing anything, but I saved some money in the end, so maybe we can do two things this year, Slamology and Kicker EQ, or HQ, EQ. Thanks for tuning in, man. Oh yeah, Mullen Performance, if you haven't already, he just started his own YouTube channel, pretty much. I think he already had the channel, but he's starting to put content on there. Car audio stuff, everything in between, go check him out. Deviant for Life, D4L, 14.4 volt, is in full effect tonight. Have a half a shot of NyQuil on your boy, no YouTube loot. Thank you, Deviant. Appreciate that, man. Heck yeah, heck yeah. Nah, those 14.4 volt guys, they are awesome. If you haven't already checked them out, they need to start putting up content, man. They got the character, they got the charisma. That's the next thing they got to do. Let's see, we got lots of comments here. Again, if you guys got anything about SPL, let me know. Or if you just want to hang out, I'm cool with either, man. You know, I just figure we'd have a topic for tonight, just in case we get off sidejagging a little bit too much. You know what I mean, Vega? NyQuil, the nighttime stuffy aches. Oh, I thought it was the commercial. I was going to read it like the commercial. How the hell did I fit in my bookcase nighttime medicine? I can't. Oh, Brian, thank you for tuning in, man. Sandra, what's going on? Not much, just hanging out, doing my usual YouTube streaming, living loud with Andy. You know the stuff with the car audio, the boom boom. Sandra used to come out to my car audio meet. She was a good friend of my friend Andrew's at the time, and we are still in contact. Awesome friend of mine. Thank you for tuning in. Andy's swimming in money, more COVID. That's it. Aaron T. Man, we got a lot of comments here. Keep them coming. Andy, so question. On subsonic setting, my box is tuned to 33. What would be a good subsonic setting on the amp? I saw your question on the Kicker Unmasked and he didn't answer it. What I suggest people to do is literally set your subsonic to where it sounds like your sub is not playing those lower frequencies at the volume that you normally would be playing where you listen to. Like the loudest you like it or wherever you want to have it set at, you set that subsonic for where that subwoofer starts to unload on certain songs. So that's the easy way to do it rather than getting into the tech of the octaves and all this other stuff with math. And a lot of people don't know how to do that. Neither do I really. I've always set subsonic where I'm testing it. If it plays too low, it does this, it does that. And then I turn the subsonic up a little bit. Okay, that sub is not going to play that low. It's not making noise. It's just unloading. I'm going to turn it up. The thing you want to do, you want to look at is the songs that you play normally. Sometimes you don't even need a subsonic filter if you're playing rock music and stuff that just doesn't play like 25 hertz. You know, if you're playing rap music, there are a few notes to go lower. You're playing rebass music, and there are some tracks out there that'll say 35 hertz to 45, and then there's a 22 in there out of nowhere, and you don't have your subsonic filter set at some point. Your speaker's going to unload, and that's where things can go wrong. So the best way to do it is to play a song, maybe put on or other, you can even do tone generators, but again, just like anything with sources, they all have to be the same, otherwise your settings are going to be off. So there are some tone generators in Spotify. If you're playing on Spotify or YouTube, I don't suggest those. highly, but you know what? I'm a Spotify guy. I'm a Bluetooth guy. Sorry, Kip, love you, but you know what? I play music the easiest way that I can. If I had CDs with everything, I would do it. Let me get the super chat real fast. Oh my goodness. Hold on. It's David, my dude. Let me get that real fast, buddy. Thank you for tuning in, David. I'm sorry. I try to go live for you, man. You're my dude, and appreciate that you're in the chat tonight. And there goes the voice already. Thank you, man. Appreciate all that you do. Got to check out his content too, man. He's been working on amps and stuff, and I wish I knew half as much as he did with that and have the guts to do it. Let's see here. So yeah, Aaron, I hope that answered your question. The best way to do it is just set it to where it starts to not sound bad. Sometimes when you have systems that are set, not even set, but you have an amp that's not real big and a woofer it's bigger than the amplifier power-wise, then you really never reach that mechanical limit. That's pretty much what you're protecting your sub from, is mechanical failure, bottoming out, dropping bottom without bottoming out, you know? So that's kind of where you want to get at. But thanks for tuning in. I'm sorry they couldn't answer your question. They would have gave it a little bit more thorough with the octaves and math and how to set it. But I figured that's the easiest way to explain it, and it'll still get you the results if you do it right. Mucinex DM worked great for me with the... Yeah, I think I tried a little bit of that towards the end. It's like weird. I had like different symptoms along the way with the COVID. In the beginning, it was just like a tickle, and then after the tickle, it turned into the, oh, you got a fever, and your nose is dry. Or no, it was salivatating first. I was salivatating so much, I think I took too many vitamins. Salivatating, and I'm allergic to pine, and I'm like waking up in the middle of the night, and I'm like choking on my, you know, my saliva just rolling down my throat while I'm sleeping. So I'm like, okay, I'm not taking that stuff anymore. I'll be okay. I'll take certain stuff. That's too much. And went from that to just dry. Everything dry. Mouth dry, nose dry. No matter how much you drink, you're thirsty. And then that finally went away with the fever, finally went away. But I still had to take Tylenol. Like, it just lingered so long. That was the thing. And then finally the fever broke, and now I'm just kind of like got fluid in my ears and a little bit of drainage, not too bad, and a cough, but it's really minimal compared to what it was. Not fun. Honey is good, especially Pooh Bear likes honey. What's going on, Justin? DIY audio guy. Thank you for tuning in, man. Got to check out his channel as well, man. He puts out excellent content. Very thorough. Got another super chat I'm going to get to you. Joseph Keenan. Let me get this question real fast. If you have an enclosure that's tuned to 32 hertz, would it be louder with a low pass frequency at 60 hertz or 80? There's a dB slope answer to that too, but at the same time, if you're playing around that frequency and it's tuned to 32 in the vehicle, we'll say it peaks around 40, 44, it shouldn't be too noticeable. But if you have it set at 80, you're going to be able to get, quote, louder, because you're not going to be having that cutoff range around where it could be the loudest. That's the easiest way to put it. If you had it set to 60, you could potentially be cutting the SPL, the gain. That's what a low-pass frequency cutoff filter does. It cuts down the amplitude at that frequency at a slope. So you might intersect on that and might be losing a little bit of power at that frequency where you might be the loudest with that enclosure. Now, being tuned to 32, and in any vehicle, I'm probably going to say that it shouldn't affect with it. I usually go with like a 60 hertz, and then what I do is I can cheat a little bit whenever the low pass frequency is set a little bit lower, because then I'm not getting that annoying higher hit that my system just can't do, or a little bit of low vocals coming through my amplifier to my subwoofer because the low pass is set so low. But then I do lose a little bit of that punch that might work better on a smaller sealed box or a punchier system. So it all really depends. So then whenever I have it set down real low, I can turn it up a little bit more. But then, because there is a roll-off. So it all depends. I would just set it at 80, and if it starts sounding a little sloppy, hit it down to 60, and then maybe you can turn up the gain just a little bit. You didn't hear that from me. Oh. It says that the super chats disappear, but I can still pop them up. You know what? Thank you, Kevin Lartner, for the $5. I appreciate it, buddy. Thank you for tuning in. What would you think would be louder, 218s or 612s in a flat wall? Thank you, Andy. I mean, just like MBE says, you know, cone area is king. And I mean, when you have so much more piston area with 612s compared to 218s, 218s is what, 215s is 353. 118 round is what, 276, 250, 256. I forget what an 18 is round. I know a square is 324, but either way, you're going to be under 300, under 600 square inches. 612s is way over that. 612s is 113 times 6, so that's what, 226 times 2, 454. 454 plus 224, you're like 750 square inches of cone area compared to less than 600. So you're gonna have a lot more cone area. So then it depends, you know, is my wall big enough for all this cone area, all this moving mass? I really think the 612s are just gonna outperform. And then you can go on another debacle of saying, oh, well, a subwoofer that's smaller is going to have better reaction, better control. And I mean, you can go down that path. But I mean, honestly, with that variable, with those 2 18s or 612s, at the end of the day, it's going to be cone area's king. Simply put, just because you have more moving mass, more air being rectified and rarefied, and moving the air, which is going past your ear, which is making sound pressure. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you guys. Oh, here we go. Here, he's got the algorithm. 33 divided by 2 is 16.5. 16.5 times divided by 2 is 8.25. So 33. So it's a quarter of octave. It's a quarter wave. That's how you figure out the subsonic frequency. So you set your subsonic at 24.75. I was going to say 26 hertz, but I was just doing math in my head. Thank you, Corey. That is the correct answer. Times 0.75 tuning frequency. That's a little bit easier there, Justin, so you know. Andy, get Bass Mechanic, Quad Maximus, all kind of CD quality bass frequency tests. I love their stuff, man. I didn't buy their new CD. I've listened to all their stuff on Spotify, even LimeWire. You know, the LimeWire days? So yeah, they actually reached out to me. I did a little demo video of one of their newer songs and posted on the Kicker Club, because I was actually posting stuff from the Kicker Club onto the Bass Mechanic, PEB group they have on Facebook, and he was like, hey, you mind if I post stuff on yours? I'm like, dude, heck yeah. It was the guy that Kip contacted me, and yeah, I love their music, man. It sounds really good in like a sealed enclosure or something that plays like 30 hertz really good up to about 50 hertz. That's the kind of system you want, and it'll play that, and it sounds good. It sounds good when you know you're playing it. You know you're going to hear bass, you know, in that extra saucy, extra gravy amount. Thank you for tuning in, 25. Appreciate and love you, buddy. Got lots of comments, man. Let's see. You guys are funny. Bass Mechanic. All right, we're caught up. Cool. Again, if you guys have any questions about SPL, I mean, drop them down below. I'm trying to think what we could talk about really with the SPL. I mean, when you're trying to get the most out of your car SPL wise, you got to remember that, you know, there's give and take. So the more SPL, more sound pressure, the more loud for your system. Just loudness, not like does it sound loud, does it sound good loud. Just loudness factor that you're going to be giving up, you know, lower end frequencies or higher end frequencies or bandwidth or just what sounds warm and natural to you. That's simply put, because whenever you come down to efficiency with SPL, that's where you have to give up all the other stuff. The simple answer to that and what people are doing, you see it everywhere, 612s, 218s, huge systems to make up for, okay, well, I don't want to lose my lows. I want to be able to do a 60. Well, all I got to do is add more cone area, and then I won't be able to lose all my bandwidth. And then there's other factors too. When you're adding all that cone area, you have to go and build a wall, or your whole vehicle's the box, and you're losing that cabin gain factor that you normally would. I hate when people say, oh, you're loud because you're in a little tiny car. It's like, listen, my car is not helping me at all. Yes, I'm close to the meter, but at the same time, I'm not getting that acoustical gain as someone that does with a big Suburban with two 15s in the back. Watt for watt, they can do things a lot easier. Again, there's another factor with how far the wave has to travel, but when push comes to shove, just being in a smaller car doesn't mean it's going to help with SPL. But then you look at frequencies. If you're trying to play 32 hertz in a tiny car like mine, yeah, it's not going to work too well. But if you're trying to play 65 hertz, 70 hertz, even 55 hertz, it's going to do really, really well, because that's just how math and physics and science and sound works. Sorry, guys. Kevin, thanks, man. Good thing I already bought the 612s. I mean, the 218s would have been good, because you're going to do what, like a flat wall or a... we got a bug in here or something, mosquito. God, little guy too. They're coming already. I thought it was supposed to be wintertime. What's going on here? You doing a flat wall again? I think it was a flat wall, or a bandpass. Either way, it's really going to be the same, and then you should be able to fit 612s no problem, front, top to bottom, and still have plenty of room for your port opening and stuff like that, so you should be good. Yeah, just give me a little more about it. What kind of power you're running, what 12s, all that stuff. 25 to life, most SPL, a T-line box or a regular box, 1 or 2 subs. T-line boxes, they are very efficient in a way. And that's more with, oh man, these damn mosquitoes already. It's more with how they have bandwidth. That's why people really like them, because it's a labyrinth chamber. It's a long chamber. What is it? The speed of sound divided by or multiplied by the cone area of the woofer, and then you divide that by the frequency you're trying to get, and then that gives you how many inches the port needs to be, and divide that to get feet and all that kind of fun stuff. With the speed of sound at sea level. So, I mean, I know enough about it, but at the same time, when it comes to SPL, enclosure does matter, but it's almost looking at like, okay, I can have a sealed box that's tuned to, because sealed boxes have tuning frequencies. I can have a sealed box that, reacts really well at like 48 hertz, and it's smaller, or it's a little bit smaller than the ported box, because a ported box is usually naturally going to be bigger. So there's that. But then the ported box you may have may be tuned at 32 hertz, and it's not really a system that's going to play very well a higher frequency. And you throw that in the back of a hatchback, and yes, the ported box with the lower frequency might have that lower hit and might hit a different way and sound a little bit better, not so bingy, 45 hertz in your ear and vibrating everything and making things rattle and doesn't sound good. But I bet you any money the sealed enclosure is going to be a little bit louder because it's working better with the vehicle. So then you got to look at the factors. Okay, well, that sounds louder. That should be louder. Got to throw it on a meter because you won't know until then. And then you got to look at, well, how much power am I pushing? Because this sealed box is taking a lot more power all over the bandwidth. I can beat it, but it's taking a lot more power. This ported box, even though it's not working as efficiently with the vehicle, because it's a ported box, because of its nature, it's just more efficient in a way because it's ported. So there's so many factors with SPL. So that's another thing you got to look at. That's why I can't stress it enough. Test, test, test. Try different things. You'll find out what works and what doesn't. And it really comes down to the end of the day, what are you looking for? Are you just trying to beat the next guy in the lane to get a plastic trophy and some points and go to Worlds? Then you got it. You can't tune it for music. You can't tune it for what you like. You got to do what the meter likes, what the car likes, what the enclosure is designed to work well with the vehicle and stuff like that. And don't even get me started on orientation. I already got 2 videos, about to make a 3rd one on it. No, we got 34 people in the night. I think that's my highest so far. It's really cool, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Aaron T. Andy, I'm having an issue as well with my mid bass. I'm running 6.5 inch Pro Audio mids crossed over at 100 hertz and super tweeters, but no mid bass from 80 to 100. Any suggestions? Now, whenever you're getting into stuff like that and it feels like you want these certain frequency ranges, is that because of how your low pass and high pass are set and that you think that you need that. Because sometimes systems that overlap it a wrong way can sound kind of bad, actually. So then that's when there's phase issues. You could actually kind of correct that a little bit if you would flip your phase. You would actually notice a little bit more of that 80 to 100 hertz range, but then you might be lacking your 40 to 60 that you were looking for from your sub originally. So that there's things with that, and that's why a lot of people, instead of doing that, they run kick panels. That, you know, they're running big doors in their speakers, or their speakers in their doors, to make up for that mid bass. But I mean, honestly, I feel like you could get that 80 to 100 hertz range from your cabin resonance. I would just turn up that low pass frequency for your subwoofer up a little bit, see if that helps. If not, switch to phase. Just hit the 0 to 180, or flip your speaker terminals, just one set of them if on the amplifier, not the speakers, because then they'll be like really not working. So there's things like that you can try to do to see what sounds better. Some systems, the phase can make a big difference. Some other ones you can't tell, and it might make it sound a little bit better on certain songs. So that's something you can always try. Bass is omnidirectional, but at the same time, with phase and just how the speaker is fired into the car, hitting the trunk and bouncing off different ways, and how they reach your head and all that other kind of stuff, it can make a difference. Bobby B, Andy, have you cracked a windshield from SPL? No, because I am not loud. I play too low. Whenever I got louder, I'm doing a 50 at 30 hertz. That is not going to crack a window. Now, if I did a 50 at 65 hertz, that's going to have a higher tendency of cracking a window compared to some. Until you get to that, you know, just obscene level of doing like 63, 64s at 30 hertz, 25 hertz, then you're cracking windows. Honestly, I haven't seen a system that cracked a window, actually cracked it. I'm not talking about like the rear view mirror falling and then putting a little chip or a little crack into the window. Until you get to that 155 and up range. And 155, that's being kind of conservative, honestly. Or not even conservative, that's just being nice. Honestly, it's like a 58 and up. That's when you're going to start running into breaking things that are your window, your side doors, the lock assemblies to your door to shut your door from them just slapping and pulsating so hard with so much authority. Things just start to break, you know? So it really does take a lot. I know over the years, as long as I've had a Solo X in my trunk, people are like, man, how many rear windows have you went through with this thing? I'm like, none. And then there's my neighbor, the system that I designed, and he just bought all the pieces, and I was like, here's your box. I designed this. You're going to run this. That sounds great. You want that? Get that. Put it together. Now he's doing a 154, 155 on 6K 215s and a no wall and a hatch. He's breaking the goddamn trunk lids. Like literally not he broke the window, but that wasn't from the base. He's breaking literally the hatches, the latches on the hatch. They're literally breaking off of the car. Tried welding it on. They're breaking off. That's when you start running it into stuff. And that's simple right there. And it's still not breaking a window. Yeah, SPL, it's more of, it's just like, do you ever see videos with sound where, I forget who did it. A lot of people have, obviously, but there was this one where he played like 523 hertz or 600 hertz or something to a glass, and it would make it break. But it had to be, the speaker had to be so close to the glass at a precise measurement, otherwise it wouldn't, because it's just how sound works with such low power and all that other kind of stuff, and it's a higher frequency, so it's a lot different than what we do. But at the end of the day, he still was able to break the glass with just sound. So whenever you're playing 30 hertz, what's making that window break isn't so much the pressure, it's more of the rigidityness of the vehicle just giving up, and then the window's going to shatter nonetheless, or the window is the weakest point. Pressure goes where the weakest point is. When you have a window, air goes out the window because that is where there's least pressure inside the wall. The air goes out, and then there's other factors with cold and heat. But at the end of the day, we're talking about pressure, SPL. And the air is going to go through where the weakest point is, and that's what's going to break your window. And honestly, the window, yes, it can break in the middle, but usually it's breaking at the bottom where the window is connected to the truck or the SUV, the car. and it's literally flexing, and it can cause it to shatter that way. And it can be just pressure just from the thing going flexing all the way out, and it can't go any further, man. I've seen some pretty crazy window breaking in person. I've seen it on YouTube videos, and it's just like, wow, that's crazy, man. But a lot of times the stuff looks like jello, and it lasts pretty long. I'm surprised glass doesn't break the way you would think it would. Man, I'm really putting my throat into action tonight here. Let's see. Yeah, I think of a T-line as a sound quality enclosure. Absolutely, Justin. Absolutely. Just because the bandwidth, I mean, I'm sure there's factors with, latency because of port delay and stuff like that. But we're not going to get in all that. I mean, we got a lot of comments here. What's up, Mike Craner? I see your comment there. What is this? Andy's tiny snats. Andy swats bugs like a fruitcake. You know what? Whenever you start, I don't know if you're a hater. I don't think you are. But whenever you start getting stuff like that, you know you're doing something right. Thanks for tuning in. Choke change. Did you hear about the 4-inch L7X sub? Yes, I have. It's going into the brand new Kicker L7X amphitheater coming out in 2023. All right, holy moly, we got lots of comments here, guys. Thank you for tuning in. 25 to life. Andy, would you consider making a box for someone if they asked? Honestly, in the summertime, I don't have so much of an issue just because of, I hate cutting in my garage. The sawdust goes everywhere. It's just messy. So if it's someone that honestly wants a nice box, they can't find anyone else to do it, I mean, yes, I can, I will, I have all the parts to do so. Absolutely. I'm not MBE, kicking out enclosures every, 2 hours. There's no way. I don't have all the right material for that, but I got the right material to make a nice custom enclosure. I don't have anything to do mass produce wise most efficiently. Table saw would be, or I have a table saw, but a CNC would be nice, and something with a vacuum setup where I can suck up all my sawdust and stuff like that. Is it hot in here, or is it just me? I'm sweating. Nah, I forgot to turn the heat off. That's actually why. It's actually kind of warmer up here than normal, but it's okay. Andy getting popular, even the bad trolls want action. You tell him, 25. You tell him. Aaron T. Andy, I'm curious about boxes. Does more bracing help rise, or what benefits on more bracing versus minimal? Well, it comes down to if you have enough bracing or not enough. Bracing, let's just throw out the factor that you're taking up more space in the box. Say it's the same. What the brace does, it helps the enclosure from flexing. So think of it this way. If the enclosure is flexing, your subwoofer's flexing, and your subwoofer's going up, and then when it starts to come down, the enclosure is going to be delayed, like a wave. So then the enclosure is coming up a little bit while the subwoofer is coming down. So you're going to get a little bit of cancellation, which is just naturally going to make it sound not as loud. You're literally, it's like if you were having someone paddle one way in the water and then you lightly paddle the other way. It's slowly going to slow them down, slow their wave down a little bit. Cancellation. So there's that. Now, if you want to talk about rise, I honestly think what that is really going to change is how much the woofer moves. If it slows the woofer and makes it move less, you're going to have more resistance, more box rise. If it makes the enclosure or makes the woofer move more, you're going to have less in a way. It's hard to explain because it's more not just the woofer moving, but the pressure inside the enclosure fighting against the woofer moving is what causes the resistance in a way, with the acoustical spring. There's electrical compliance, there's all kind of other factors that go into it, but yes, bracing can affect it. I would say 9 chances out of 10 you got a box that's not braced correctly and it's slapping, your box rise is going to go down. Yes, it's moving more, but you're not creating enough pressure in the enclosure. 1, because of cancellation, and then 2, the whole box is going like this, literally going like this, so everything is not building pressure the right way. That's the best way to put it. All right, Jeff, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate you, buddy. 25 to life. D, one time at Bear Vids, me and Ashy were laughing at Art. He was acting as if he was Big D. I can't. Oh, here we go. Oh, gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Oh, it's the good stuff, man. Woo! Comes out flying. Ugh. Choke change. How do you feel about passive radiator enclosures at a competition level? I think there was a base fan with 16 QB8s. Any critique of the kicker QB8 enclosure itself? Wow, that's pretty cool to see their QB8s in any kind of competition. Because I wouldn't say it's geared for SPL, but at the same time, I love passive radiators. Ooh, because you get the benefit of having a smaller enclosure, yet more amplitude because of how the passive radiator is tuned. And the amount of weight will factor in the tuning and all that other kind of fun stuff, but it acts like a port, because all a port does is the air goes back and forth, and it acts like a woofer. But it's infinite. So that's why the port needs to be smaller compared to a passive radiator. The passive radiator can only go so far, so that's why you got to watch how small of a passive radiator you put on there. Otherwise, the passive radiator is going to want to keep going, and it can't. You're going to be bottoming out. So competition, I mean, honestly, I don't think they would do that bad. But what they are designed to do, be a small enclosure in a small space. So if you only have so much area and you want a nice daily system, but you want to compete with it like a pickup truck, the passive radiators are going to be a little bit louder than a regular sealed enclosure. 9 chances out of 10 for the size of the enclosure that's roughly for each one and all that kind of fun stuff. Honestly, the passive radiator is going to outshine the sealed enclosure. Now, if you can run a ported, you can dial it in a little bit better, and you're going to get more SPL. You have an infinite port. You don't have a speaker you got to be limited by. That's my opinion on it. I don't have the QB8. I would like to get my hands on one. Man, I don't know if I'm going to make it over an hour tonight, guys. Still having issues. Listen, Jeff always wants to shout out. Jeff is a kicker fan. You gotta love the guy. $25? You are going down uncharted waters, sir. I'm gonna kill you. Trying to troll so hard. Andy, what is the power handling on the new L7X 8-inch woofer? Whatever you can throw at it. That is the RMS. Now, that'd be cool if they can make an 8, and you know MBE would be all over that. He'd be drooling. I gotta talk to MBE. I'm gonna be like, listen, bro. I know you go live at like 9 o'clock every Friday. That's right in between Rolling Thunder and right before my live. We gotta do something here. I don't want to step on toes, but it's like, dude, like I want to watch your stuff too, and I want to have you on one of my shows, either the Rolling Thunder or this one. So it just bothers me because I can't watch them live, and you know they're not the same when you rewatch it the second time, or you rewatch it when it's not live. His hair. Oh. Yeah, if you haven't already, go check out my merch. I'm gonna try to add more stuff. I got my merch link. If you just go onto my channel here, go to the community tab, go down a few posts, you'll see it. Check it out. I got t-shirts, you know, the usual. I can make stuff myself, but that is for the people that I don't feel like shipping to, or you just want it now, you can get it. If you want something custom, I can do it. You want your name on it, all kinds of stuff, just not on the website. Me particularly. Salt 8 should work great, huh, on that L78, right? It actually wouldn't be that bad. Say if you ran it at like, they have dual 1s and dual 2s. If you ran it at 4 ohms on a Salt 8K, it'd take it all day. If it was the same kind of motor and coil, 2000 RMS 3.5 inch sub, then 3.5 inch coil for the sub, no problem. That's the thing, man. You almost want too big of an amp than you need compared to too small. Because say, you know, you don't really know too much about anything, but just get a bigger amp and then wire it higher, but know that you can wire lower to get the most out of the amp. So it's like, well, if I want to play safe, I can keep it high, just for my own personal opinion. I don't know. I think that's weird. I just send it and try to keep it clean. But some people, they're like, well, I'm going to run it at a higher impedance. Stuff like that. So there's always that option too. But that's kind of been beginner stuff. And I really don't suggest people doing that. But it's a thought. Oh man, I am not feeling too good here. That's a good one. That's definitely a good one. Living Loud with Andy shirts. I have survived COVID. RGA. Awesome. All right. Well, we have 28 people on here. We've been on here 49 minutes. Not bad. We'll try to keep it going a little bit longer. If you guys got any other comments, throw them up before we sign out of here. Because I'll be, as long as Vega says it's okay, we'll do the 12-volt talk tomorrow, probably on his channel, and then Thursday, if I don't work, possibly I could go live again at 10 o'clock after the reverse polarity, and then Friday Rolling in Thunder, and then my normal Friday live. So I'll probably do that every day. That'd be cool. We'll see. Comp RTs for mid-bass. I know I seen John Myers said that he did that. And I know people are like, oh, well, it won't play 500 hertz. Well, I don't want it to play 500 hertz. I want it for that low mid-bass. Mid-bass to us, you know, a little bit of kick. Boom, 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 boom. That higher stuff that you don't really per se want your subwoofer in the back to be doing, but you want a little bit of fill. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think the Comp RT comes in a 6.5 and an 8. So you could honestly just throw that right in your door and then have like midlers or anything like that for your vocals and stuff like that. That'd be awesome. Y'all have a great night, guys. Thank you, David, for tuning in. I don't know if you heard, we're going to be doing some lives all week. So just so you know, we'll be here. Thank you for tuning in, man. Mike Craner. Only true Kicker fans Living Loud phone case is just saying. Thank you, buddy. I love mine. It's so cool. Thank you. Samuel, good vibes. Andy, oh no. Andy gonna set the bar for best stream of 2021, and Thursday is a no, because side jag is after reverse polarity. I know about the side jag. I know. But I don't watch it a lot because they watch things that I haven't watched yet. And I don't want to watch it. I don't like spoiler stuff. If it's just hanging out, sure. We'll see. 25. Mid-range or mid-bass? Your preference, Andy. Mid-bass. Mid-range, I feel like mid-range is more of like your 500 to 1000 hertz. You know, like the non-vocals, the higher tom-toms, the not the synthesizers, but you know what I mean, like the that kind of stuff. That's mid-range. Mid-bass is more, you know, that quick punch, dum 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 dum, before it starts getting low. Awesome, man. Thanks for tuning in. 14.4 Volt Talk presents 13.8 Volt Talk tomorrow. Absolutely. You know it. Andy is anti-men on film. I can't. Alright, cool. Well, I don't want to drag it out too long. You know, we're all here. We had a good time. It's the first time streaming. I just want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I missed you guys. I wanted to so bad to reach out, and everyone's going live on New Year's and all these other stuff, and I'm like, I just can't do it. I don't feel good enough to do it, and I barely feel good enough to do it now, but enough to do it. Enough. So, again, thank you guys for tuning in. We're going to have some fun this week. I I'll try to get out a video this week. I'm not 100% sure. We'll see how it goes. We'll take it one step at a time. But regardless, I'm going to keep the content coming to you guys. Get better, Andy. You need more time. I know. I'm trying, man. I'm pushing myself, but it's like, you know what? I want to. It's like I don't got to work. I'm feeling good enough to talk and come on, but I can't go long. It's just, it's tough. Why the voltage drop, Deviant? Beating too hard? Bobby B, Andy, do you watch Putty 5000 on YouTube? Putty 5000? No. You'll have to send me that. I watch a lot of different YouTube stuff too. Thank you for tuning in, RGA. Take care of yourself, bud. You as likewise, sir. Thank you so much. Jason Stokes, thank you for tuning in, man. Hope you and the family get to feeling better. Thank you, man. You know, we are feeling a lot better compared to what we were, but it's still lingering, you know. And Kayla's still worse than me. She's still got like a headache, coughing real bad, and she's more congested than I am. Beardy phone cases for the win. You know what, Beardy? Or you know what? Wait, hold on. Wait. 25. Yeah, because that's for Deviant. Let me know. I can make whatever, and then I can just throw it up on the website, and we'll get it done. Just let me know. Brian, thanks for tuning in. Get some rest, Andy. 14.4 volt needs the troll time. Yes. Thank you for tuning in, man. Samuel Seal, hope you feel better, brother. Have a good night, homie. Appreciate you, Sam. Thank you for tuning in, man. One step at a time. Got you, Choke Change. Thank you for tuning in, man. Hope you had a good time, and we do this often, so ring that bell. Appreciate you guys. Stupid spell check. Audi 5000. No, I still haven't checked it out. Send me a link, just so I don't forget what that was exactly. It's hard to go back and see the live comments on here. RGA, support the audio bros, big or small. If I respect them, I watch. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. And I'm the same way, too, man. I really am. I really am. And I'm just a little guy. Big Damn 28, thanks for tuning in. As I was getting over my bout with it, took weeks before I can make full sentences. Huh. You down, D? Beardy phone cases. Ask Annie. We'll make it happen. Oh. Mike Craner, glad you guys survived. Covey, buddy, we're a couple months from having it, too. A couple months from having it, too? What do you mean? Thanks, man. I appreciate that. I hope you don't get that. It ain't no fun. Bobby asked 25 Hertz questions. Bobby B is the #1 out there, man. He is that guy. He is on that comment section for every live stream before it starts, 4 hours before. You can't beat him. You just can't beat Bobby B. He's that dude. All right, awesome. Looks like we got all the questions. We're about to hit an hour anyway with a 3-minute rollout. Hope you guys like that too. I really like the intro and outro. I think it's cool throwing up your guys' comments. You guys make me smile. So anyway, again, thank you guys for tuning in, and you know, we'll do this. We'll do this again for sure. I'll let you know. I'll keep you guys posted otherwise. If not, I will see you guys on the next one. Stay living loud, and don't forget to wash your hands. I'll see you guys next time.